What's up, Indubians? Just before we begin the program that you're about to hear, I just wanted to thank some Patreon subscribers that donated to me this month, which I forgot to do in the actual recording of this episode. So I want to thank Tito, I want to thank Berto, and of course, my Fluffy Puffs, which you will hear me talk about later on in this episode, but myfluffypuffs.com. Please go check that out. Go shop, go find something that you may like for your hair or for your skin. And when you go to checkout, you can use the offer code INDUB until June 30th, and you will save 10%. So do go to myfluffypuffs.com. That is MYFLUFFYPUFFS. .com, and when you go to checkout, use Indoob. I shouldn't have to spell Indoob for you, but just in case, INDOOB. Also, at the time of this recording, my TeePublic store is also on sale, so all designs, I think they're 30% off. Everything should be on sale. So, go check that out if you'd like to support me. If you're not already supporting on Patreon, which, a lot of the things are just $1. So if you just want to pay $1 a month, you'll have access to movie reviews and other random things that I might post on there, including things from that other podcast I do, Food Fight. Yeah. And so some stuff's on there, and as well as movie reviews and other randomness. And just for the record,
Laurel, 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 Laurel.
That sounds like Laurel to me, so there you have it. Now, let's start the show.
FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indu Podcast. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. This is episode number 74. It's the Ides of May. It's literally the Ides of May.
It is.
And I don't know if anything ominous or threatening is happening with you. Is there, Kortney?
No, we had a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind and thunder, but it quickly passed through and it's gone for now.
Yeah, we had a tornado warning here in Connecticut, and it's since passed. In fact, actually, it still might be storming, so you may hear a rumble maybe in the background. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure how sensitive these mics are, how sensitive this recording apparatus or application is actually the word I mean to use. So this just a heads up, because I guess we're coming into storm season, at least here in New England, because at least it's actually springtime now. So I don't know about Arkansas. I know you guys have some storms. I've been out there. So
yes, we do.
Yeah.
We haven't really gotten anything this season though, and I hope it stays that way. I hope we have a really mild, stormy season. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's still pretty early to say because it's only May, so we'll see. Oops, hope that didn't come through. Yeah, sorry, just playing around with my computer and I'm hearing noises. I'm like, hey, this shouldn't be there. Yeah. So besides the weather and ominousity, I'm making up words. Never mind. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Kortney, we have a new segment that we need to start on the show, and you know what it is?
Okay.
It is.
I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's going to be called. Actually, that's what I'm not sure about. So this is live breaking. We're trying to figure this out right now, but Word Watch, I think I want to call it.
Word Watch.
Okay.
So that's if either of us find a new word that we really, really like, and we're going to add to our list. And I found a word. So what I meant to do was make a jingle for this, which I could always do later and drop it in post, but I'm not even ready right now.
Word Watch.
I found a new word. And this new word
Mhm.
is woe be gone. And I'll spell
Go be gone.
woe be gone. And I'll spell it for you.
Okay.
It is
right.
WOEBEGONE. So it's basically three words.
Woe be gone.
Yeah, put together as one word. And it's basically, it goes into the same family as crestfallen and melancholy. So it's basically
Mhm.
a sadness, but it came up in a show I was watching, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to use this word and bring it back into our vernacular, our regular lexicon. So woe be
Mhm.
gone. I've been trying to work into at least once a day in things that I say.
Nice. How would you use it in a sentence?
Of course, I should have an example for this. Let's see. If a tree had fallen on your car, I think you would be pretty woebegone.
Okay. I get it. I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. It can be pretty much interchanged with like crestfallen. Like, because that branch hit my car or that tree hit my car, I'm pretty crestfallen about it.
Mhm.
So.
Mhm. Mhm. I get it.
Yeah. And
okay, I'm now gonna have to figure out ways to work it into my daily conversation.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's not that I'm generally a sad person or I find things to be sad, but once something sad comes up, then I'm like, oh my God, I can use it. But, you have to remember to use it. It's like, oh man, I'm pretty woebegone about that. So, yeah. So, woebegone is one of my new words that I found and I'm trying to work into every day because I love it so. Another one, which I'm not officially adding to the list, is it was one of the words of the day from Merriam-Webster, which, they're just amazing people anyway. The people that run the site and everything. Yeah, they pick their words. I should have saved it. I think it's like slumgullion or slumgullion, I think. And it's a beef stew. It's a really weird word, but.
Okay. So it's the sound of it's the name of a type of stew.
I don't know if it's a type of stew. I think it's just what they would call stew. Like it's slumgullion, I think, because our good friend Berto had made a joke. And once I was talking about the word, he just tweeted out, "Good morning, slumgullions." So I'm like, I see what you did there.
I like it. I mean, that kind of fits though, doesn't it?
It does. And I at first I didn't catch what he was doing. So I'm like, okay, this is something that an alien would say to us humans because we are probably just, like meat. I guess they would just kind of consider us. I was thinking of Men in Black and and how he calls us a meat sack. So yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So, that's another one. I could add it to the list, but I'm really just stuck on woebegone because it's just a classic word that I'm really attached to. So,
yeah. So, I see why though. It makes sense.
It does. So yeah, enough about my words and things. How have you been? Kortney, how have you been?
I have been doing very well, thank you. Just trying to figure out where the time went, trying to figure out how to slow it down or to go back in time, and trying to do what I can since I haven't figured any of those things out yet.
I'd say we need a time stone for that, but that's a whole nother conversation that, we definitely could get into, but not today. That's not our conversation.
Yeah. It's not, we got to stay in our lane today, right?
Right. And we do have a topic, but we'll get to that shortly. I will say that I want to give a shout out to my good friend Michelle, who came up to visit from Florida, and she treated me to my first ever pedicure. I had never had one before. Well, I obviously, because I just said it's the first one, but wasn't expecting it. But I decided to go for it, and it was quite an experience. They did warn me, said if you are ticklish, it might be a little weird, and it was. But hey, I had the whole place laughing because I was like, I'm trying not to laugh, and because they do like the whole scrubbing of. Have you ever had a pedicure?
I have. It's not really something I do often, but it's pretty awesome. I do. I'm glad you experienced it, and I do highly recommend it if you haven't ever gotten one.
Yeah, it is something. I probably would go back. I don't think I'd go back in a hurry, but I definitely would because it was nice kind of feeling pampered, even though I felt a little bad. I'm like, are you sure you want to be messing with, I mean, not that my feet stank or anything. And I do take care of myself and practice hygiene and scrubbing, but not to the scraping and scrubbing to the level they were doing. And I was just like, this is quite an experience. Like I just, but it was interesting. And the massage chairs, I think I like that a little bit more than the pedicure itself, but maybe, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But my feet had never felt so clean. They felt clean. Like the rest of I just like feeling my toes rub against each other all smooth. I'm like, oh, wow, this is so, yeah.
So is this something that you can see yourself doing like frequently or just more often or just again sometime? Do you see that happening?
I would say again sometime, like there would have to be maybe some occasion, maybe if like someone came out of town and was like, okay, or I had to go with someone to maybe pamper them, or like, hey, let's go out to have a spa day or something, and we'll get pedicures, and like, yay, pedicures, and I get a little excited and giddy, and I'll go along. I don't think I would go by myself. I don't think I would go by myself. So
Gotcha. I get it.
But now
I'm glad you experienced this. I'm glad that this you have this to add to your arsenal. And I hope you can do it again.
I think so. At least now I know what I'd be ready for, because I didn't I don't want to say I was freaking out about it. I think it's just because it was a new experience. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that my feet would be touched and nails would be cut. I'm like, dude, would they know like not to cut too far, or what's all of that. So yeah, it was interesting. It was kind of fun. It was fun.
It's very weird. I mean, and that's one of the reasons I don't really get my nails, my feet done, because it's weird to me, but it is worth it to, groom a little bit better than you normally would. And it is a nice pampering thing. So, yeah.
I think all I was missing was probably like a mimosa or a glass of wine or something. And I'm like, now I'm living or whatever. But so.
Well, we can change that next time.
Okay. Oh, wait. So is that, we're putting that on our like itinerary for like a future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay. We'll put it on the books, because now that I know where it is and yeah, we'll work that out.
Okay.
So yeah, that is happening. The other thing that's happening, it is Upfronts season, and I'm going to apologize to listeners because I know every year I like to talk about the new shows that are coming out as well as the shows that are being canceled, and I really didn't do my homework like I was supposed to, and I had my predictions, but I lost the sheet of all the predictions of shows that I thought would be canceled. So yeah.
Well, can you give us a slight rundown? Are you prepared to do that?
There were a number of shows that I knew that would be canceled and have been, such as I don't know. Have you heard of the show called Marvel's Inhumans at all?
Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, that was officially canceled, and we all knew that was.
Are you serious?
Yes. I mean, they were.
Okay, I think I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw something like that on Twitter recently, and it was just like, oh, this hasn't happened already. This cancellation hasn't happened already. Oh, okay. Well, now it's here. So moving on to back to real life now.
Yeah, it's yeah, I do. It's officially gone. However, I think Kevin Feige wants to not bring the show back, but at least bring back Inhumans in a proper fashion. I think. I could be making stuff up.
What would that entail?
Probably.
What would a proper fashion entail?
Well, I remember originally it was supposed to be a movie, but he ended up taking it off.
Oh, right.
To make it a series, and then Marvel rushed it, and it just fell apart. So, in order to bring it back, I think they would have to either introduce it maybe in another movie, or even bring it back with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which fortunately got renewed for a 6th season. They weren't sure if it was coming back, but they'll be back.
Awesome.
Yes. A number of other shows that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, some of them being like I don't want to call them war shows, but they're just shows that kind of follow like teams or troops that were like in the service. And I think one of them was called Valor. That was on the CW. That got canceled. And I knew like one or two of them weren't going to make it, but some of them were. And I think I feel like The Brave is another one that didn't make it. The one of the big stories though was Brooklyn Nine-Nine got canceled from Fox.
Yeah. Yep.
And NBC came in and saved the day, and just so that is
woohoo.
That is wonderful news. Even though I've kind of fallen behind the last couple seasons, it is a very funny show. I'm glad that it's going to be around at least another season. The thing that I love, though, I love when shows are able to wrap it up on their own terms. So that way, like, we're finished with the story and we're ending it the way we want to end it. So, that's what happens.
I agree. I'm not a huge Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, but it has a lot of really great qualities because it is funny. It's got a very diverse cast. It's representative for, to a lot of communities and minorities and marginalized peoples. And so it's important. And so I'm very glad. I'm very happy to see that it has been renewed, and we still have something out there to help fill the void. It's very sad, though, that they chose Brooklyn Nine-Nine to cancel, and they still keep a lot of other crappy shows on the air, which I don't know if I'll ever understand. But, it is what it is, I guess. But I am glad that, they were able to pull it through,
I do. Now, the part that kind of bothered me a little bit is that they canceled that show, but they revived a show from that ABC canceled, I think like last year, the year before, Tim Allen's sitcom, Last Man Standing, which I don't recall anybody asking for that.
Is that the one? Right. But is that the one with is Kirstie Allen on it?
It just came out. I don't know.
I know.
I don't think she was.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't recall her being on that show. Then again, I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But it's possible. It's possible because, and I'm just making a little speculation here, but I recently discovered, because I didn't know this, but Kirstie Allen is a Scientologist. I didn't know that until recently. And she was actually supportive of Roseanne with her show coming out, which again, nobody asked for. So Roseanne and Tim Allen, they're both, I believe, I don't want to put words in Tim Allen's mouth, but I know he's problematic and he might be a Trump supporter. So, so I'm kind of lumping.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, nobody asked for these shows. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't. We actually for real didn't.
Yeah, nobody. And I'm looking at my list now. I think I put Kevin Probably Saves the World as being canceled. Wow, I really need to find my list because some of these shows I'm looking up now. I'm like, I think
now that one hasn't yet been canceled, has it?
Kevin Probably Saves the World?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, I thought it would. I thought that would have been canceled as well. So it looks like we are on the same page with that one. 10
Days in the Valley, which I've never watched, and I'm like, yeah, canceled, and it did. The Mayor, which I kind of wanted it to succeed, only because I want to see. Okay, let me take that back, because we're actually talking about how we need to support things that are good. Like, just because it has a diverse or a black cast doesn't mean that we should be like celebrating it. I personally didn't find the show all that funny, even though I liked some of the people on the show. So the fact that it got canceled, I'm like, I'm not going to miss it, honestly.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it just because, I mean, it is what it is. If it's not a good show, it's not a good show.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we do not want diverse shows with diverse characters and people and characters who look like us and come from similar backgrounds as us. That's different. I mean, it still needs to be good. It still needs to have the right, it just still needs to be good. That doesn't absolve it from being a bad show or bad production, It really doesn't. That helps, but at the end of the day, it doesn't help all that much if it's just a badly written show with bad characters,
And I think the saying is not to celebrate mediocrity, and that's kind of what it felt like to me. And I don't wish for shows to be canceled unless they really, really, really are terrible. And that show wasn't terrible. And plus, these are livelihoods. These are writers and crew members that are losing jobs, and I don't really wish that for anybody. But it's just not a show that I was watching because I didn't find it all that entertaining.
Yeah.
Let's see. On CBS, there's the show 9JKL, which I knew was going to be canceled, and it has been.
Because nobody can pronounce it. Nobody can remember that.
Right. It was very forgettable, very very white. I'm just going to say it because it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't even realize this. Living Biblically just came out like maybe a month ago and was already canceled. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to be canceled too. So. Let me just check this list again. The Exorcist was canceled. It was canceled last season, but they brought it back because I guess people wanted it, and then now it's back. But now it's gone again. And let's see if there's any other ones that stand out here. Oh yeah, I mentioned The Brave, and nothing there. All right. And CW doesn't really have too much. They don't cancel too many shows. They only canceled 2 shows, and that was Life Sentence and Valor.
And that was just this season, right?
Yeah.
This TV season? Okay.
Yeah. I thought there was some other show, but I guess they canceled that last season, whatever show I'm trying to think of, the CW I'm talking about. But yeah, they're pretty good. They hold on to their shows. Like Supernatural, which it's probably going into season 84 now. But yeah, that's... the unprepared version of our Upfronts review. Actually, I'll probably be back for more because I have yet to watch the trailers. It's still Upfront season, so they're still releasing new information of the shows that they're coming out with and trailers for those shows. And that will give me an informed opinion, and if I think that show will succeed after I see where it's on the schedule. So,
yes.
So I will follow up with that. I might do a special Patreon post just to tell you about that. And by the way, do check out our Patreon posts because I am posting reviews of like Infinity War. And I finally posted the review for A Quiet Place, finally. So that's
Thank you. Finally.
I know. I mean, still, it's such a great movie. You should go see it again anyway.
It's a great movie. Do it now. Well, after you get through listening.
Of course. And I'm doing this for everyone, so please just $1. Pretty much everything is $1. So that's really all I'm asking for because that helps me pay for things like I'm trying to get on iHeartRadio, and that actually cost a little bit of money to get on. So that's what your money's going for, as well as paying for hosting of podcasts because it's not free. Because some people wonder where the money goes, and I just like to I like to be upfront and transparent. But one more thing before we move on, and that is My Fluffy Puffs. And I'm actually going to say it again a little later, but myfluffypuffs.com, please go check them out. Go get some stuff. I use it now. I actually have twist frosting in my hair as we speak. And it's lovely. It's nice. But what you don't know is that if you go to myfluffypuffs.com and you go to order something, and when you go to checkout, I have an offer code for you to save you 10%.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yes. So once you've got your order together, before you check out, go to the there's a little box probably with the order thingy. Forgetting words. Words are hard sometimes. But put in Indoob, INDOOB, and you'll save yourself 10% from the time that you hear this to June 30th, 2018. So go do that. And there's
go forth and do that.
Yes, there's tons of products for your hair and even some for your skin, and it's great. I'm looking for my notes here of the stuff that they have. That can moisturize your hair, wash your hair. It gives you definition for all textures of hair. So go check that out and use offer code INDOOB to save 10%. I do have a Black History fact for you. Are you ready?
Nice. Let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History. Black History. Facts.
Now, I'm not really sure if this counts as a Black History fact, but I'm going to count it as one because it's a fact to me and it's good stuff. So let me pull up my additional notes here. But today I want to just just highlight a person, Mr. Richard Overton. Does his name sound familiar to you?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Tell me about Mr. Richard Overton.
It didn't sound too familiar to me either, but he served in the U.S. Armed Forces in the Pacific Theater from 1942 to 1945 as part of an all-black 1887, or wait, no, that's probably 1,887th Engineer Aviation Battalion. But not today, but May 11th was his 112th birthday. So
yes, okay. I thought it. Okay, it does sound familiar. Okay, I just couldn't place it, but yes, I saw that. How awesome is that?
it is extremely awesome, and I had to verify because I wasn't sure if it was just he was the oldest living person in America, but I think he's just the oldest living veteran of World War II.
Yeah.
So. So we basically salute you, and if you do look him up, there are some awesome photos. And I thought I saved the tweet that like there was an awesome photographer that just caught him in this light, and it was just magical. And I just loved it. And of course, what they always do, and they always ask centurions how I think that's right, right? Centurions.
That's right. Yeah, okay. It is.
They ask him how it is that they live so long, and I loved his answer, and he said, "Just don't die." Basically,
I love it. I mean, he's got a point, right?
He does.
Short and simple, and that's what it takes. Just don't die.
And he's living his best life. Every day he has, I think, 8 cigars. I don't have the tweet that had all this information.
I feel like it was more than that, though. I feel like it was
maybe like 12.
A pack of cigars. So I don't know how much a pack is, but
neither do I.
Regardless, he drinks. I mean, he smokes several cigars per day and drinks whiskey every day.
Every day. And Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
I found that
every
out
day.
too.
Oh, and Dr. Pepper. Yes, yes. Can't forget that.
You're right. I mean, you got to chase it with something, I guess. But, I mean, if you're 112, I mean, you don't need a chaser. And you can smoke as many cigars as you want. So just keep on living.
Exactly. You literally can do anything you want. I mean, just do what you do. It's obviously working. So do you, man. Do you.
Do you. So we salute you, Richard Overton, and thank you for your service. And thank you for living your best life. Because I think that's what he's doing. So.
Much agreed. Here's to 112 more, sir.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Can you imagine that? You just outliving everybody, doing just the same thing.
Yeah.
Whiskey and cigars. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we will come back and we're going to talk a little bit about ASMR and what it is and how it can help your life, maybe.
See you soon.
The Indu Podcast.
Shannon, CG, Lauren, and Mel form the Nerds of Prey. A group of ladies bonded by comics, gaming, film, television, and fandom culture. Hang out with them bi-weekly as they dig into the very things that make them loud and proud nerds. Available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. Also, check out their Patreon at patreon.com/Nerds of Prey.
Hey there, do you like talking about your favorite comic book and characters? Or a TV series you love to binge? Or how Goku from Dragon Ball Z was trash, but it was still your gateway anime? But you're also interested in talking about different social issues and current events, like representation, Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, or racism? Well then, you're in luck. I've got a podcast where we dive into all of that. It's called Speak On It. I'm your host, Nisha, a millennial that's just trying to live my black and nerdy life while also staying informed. So every episode, a guest and I will dive into a discussion that can cover everything from anime to activism and speak on it. You can head over to iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever else these RSS feeds go to subscribe, listen, and stay tuned. Talk to you soon.
Hey there, friend. Enjoying this podcast production? I bet your sweet buttery face you are. I bet you're also thinking, how can I support this show and look awesome doing it? Aside from telling your best pal and all their kin, you can head over to Indoob.com, and 2 clicks later, after hitting the store tab, you'll find yourself with several fun and fancy swag brought to you by the fine folks at the Indoob Network and T-Public. If you're a fan of Indoob, Food Fight, or anything under the Indoobian sun, you can find it plastered on mugs, hoodies, pillows, cases, bags, and of course, t-shirts. Hurry on over now, and you may catch a sale with all tees 30% off. Seriously, they have sales like every other week. So head on over to Indoob.com or tpublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com and type Indoob in the search bar and continue to pod with the best. And welcome back to the Indoob podcast. Okay, so ASMR, do you know what that is?
I don't. What is that?
It stands for okay, let me try that again. Already I'm already stumbling.
That's okay. Take your time, man. Words are hard.
Okay, yes, they are autonomous. Okay, autonomous. I'm still saying it wrong. Autonomous sensory meridian response. See, and I practiced before we even started. So what it is basically it's a pleasant physical or emotional feeling triggered most often by soft sounds such as vocal fry, which we learned about a couple episodes ago, or rustling of leaves or crinkling of paper or scratching of like skin. And there's like a whole community out there that that either supplies ASMR for people, and as well as people that just enjoy these sounds or these experiences. And a few more examples are people who are whispering, and I really should be doing this in an ASMR fashion. So I'll just do this in a whisper. You can still hear me, right? We're still good?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're whispering too. Good. All right. So sometimes it's whispering or maybe scratching. So I'm going to scratch the microphone a little bit. So that sometimes can trigger a response, and it's pleasant for some people. Like they just really enjoy this. It's almost like if you're getting a head massage or something, and it's just tingling.
Tingling in your ears.
Yeah, that too. Because I mean, for me, sometimes if like my ears are played with, or even if like my hair is being braided and they get like right in the middle of my head, I'm like, oh, that's it right there. Stay right there. Just right there. Okay, good. Sometimes the sound of blowing, like wind or air. People that watch Bob Ross painting, that could be an ASMR kind of thing, just because he whispers.
Okay.
He's very gentle. So pages turning. It has a very...
I love that sound.
Yes. And also, I think even for me, even paper ripping can be a sound that some people really enjoy. It's very soothing. And there are entire YouTube pages or videos, channels, that's what I'm looking for, that do this. That they'll just... Really? Yes, they'll... Oh, and I actually found a couple because I told you about this. How, like, I enjoy the sound of you knitting and just the clacking.
The needles, yep.
Yeah. So there are videos where there are people that just sit there and knit, and then they whisper the whole time, and they're just...
Really?
Yeah, they're not even talking about anything really. They're just knitting, and like, oh yeah, so I fed my my dog this cheese or whatever, and it's just nonsense, but it's soothing. Yeah, it's great. That's kind of what ASMR is, and there's a whole bunch of videos. There's actually videos of like trains that are just going down the track, and it's more of a visual thing for that one. I watched one where somebody just kind of like took not nails necessarily to a wall, but they were just chipping away at a wall, and that was just, I don't know, it was weird how it just kind of like, wow, I could actually watch this for hours. And but it's very relaxing, and it's like, and it helps you kind of to...
That's the point, right?
Yeah, it is, and it helps to make you not focus so much, to like turns things way down. There's a new channel, and I meant to actually send this to you like when I saw it. I probably just retweeted it, but soap. There are people that carve into soap.
I want to see that one because
Yeah.
I love like watching when people, carve wood and they make those wood chips. That is the most,
Mm-hmm.
I just love it. And I always thought I was so weird because of it. Because I was like, why is this so cool to me? It's because it's just cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
And it clearly
I have this condition.
it must be part of your ASMR receptors or whatever. I might be making things up now, but it's I'm going to come out of whisper mode now. It's not necessarily a scientific thing, but it's something that does exist, but science can't really like prove it. I'm not sure if they're trying to, but it's here. it's a thing. And so I guess you said like carving wood, but you like the rustling of papers or turning of pages. Do you know if there's any other kind of sounds or steady noises like that could like soothe you?
Something I noticed is like I like a fan blowing, but I prefer like a space heater. It's just a different type of buzz. And like, cause I'm always cold at my job, and I have an office job where I can have a space heater. And so I find myself like, I generally need the space heater, but sometimes if it's blowing directly on me, I get too hot. And so I will find myself turning the space heater like away from me so that it's still blowing and, but it's not hitting me so that I can hear it. Because I just like the noise. I like the sound of printers. I love it when they print off, like, cause at my job, we also tend to print, high volumes of papers in print jobs. And so I love it when it just goes and goes and goes and goes. But I also love it, like I have a smaller one in my office where even if it's not printing, it has this kind of hum. I love it. I love it. And sometimes I will find myself, it has a sleep mode, but I sometimes will find myself bringing it out of sleep mode just so I can hear it hum. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
That is interesting. And
yeah.
there are weird ones because I'm about to tell you my weird one, but I've actually told you this before, but I'm telling this now to the world that I love it when Chief has his chew like sticks and like they're hickory or something, or what's the other word I'm looking for? Well, the one that I give him, his chew stick is hickory scented or flavored, but he'll chew on it, and the way that it sounds when he's chewing on it is something that soothes me. And it's really weird and may even sound gross to people because I'm like, would you stop like smacking your mouth or something? But it's a dog. He's not he doesn't know to chew with his mouth closed. But yeah, he's also chewing on the stick, but also it releases a scent, a hickory scent too. So that's kind of actually nice. So
you've got like the double sensory effect, the auditory and the what's it when you smell?
I feel like it's like
auditory. It is. It's something with an O, I thought.
Yeah, it is. And where's my Google phone? But yeah, it's double basically. And I mean, he's enjoying himself because he's enjoying his stick, so he's just chewing on that. And I love it. I feel like there's another one. Olfaction, maybe? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. But oh well, it's the sense of smell and the hearing of it. And I know there's another one. And my mom's like that too with fans. She does like to hear her fan. Doesn't necessarily have to be blowing on her, but she just likes hearing it soothing. And occasionally, like I did rip some paper earlier, but I don't normally rip too much paper for that to happen. I think some people I want to classify popping the bubbles and bubble wrap.
Oh yeah. See, I feel like the bubble wrap thing and like tearing paper, for me, it's not so much like I like the sound of it. It's the action of doing it. Like ripping paper, normally if I'm ripping something up, it's because I'm finished with that task or I don't need that particular piece of paper anymore. So I'm clearing out my space, something like that. So I really love to just, get rid of the thing. So for me, it's like the action of destroying something, I guess. You know?
I do. And I think that might fall into another category, which I don't know what that is termed for other than being cathartic. Because okay, let me say this carefully, because I feel like I want to say I like destroying things, and that's not what I mean. But there is a sense of pleasure or like some kind of endorphins that are released when something is being destroyed in a deliberate way, where
Yes.
I like, I'm not a pyromaniac, but I do like burning things. Like I do get a sense of like, because I like to watch, the controlled flames. I'm not trying to burn anything down. I am not an arson.
Sure.
Those days are behind me. I have stories to tell, but that will be for the Patreon for $1. I will tell those stories of my fire incidents. But when it comes to like paper, like if you're just going to burn a piece of paper, just watching it, that's one thing. But also hearing like the fire or the paper just kind of crumble and just crackle. I like the crackling of a fireplace. That's something that's safe. I do like that. Or a bonfire. If I like going to those. I haven't gone to any in a long time, but just the crackling, and I don't have to be doing anything else. I don't need to be roasting marshmallows. Just let me stay there. Let me stare at the fire. Let me listen to it. Let me smell the wood that's burning or the paper that's thrown in it. That's another one. It takes more to do that than it is to like rip paper or try to talk Chief into chewing on his hickory sticks. Rawhide, that's the word I was looking for. But
rawhide, yes. Yeah, that's right.
But they're flavored with hickory and scented when you choose it. So yeah, that and listening to knitting, because my mother, she would also crochet and knit. So I think that's kind of where it started for me, just kind of hearing that. And I guess it's also because it's repetitive too. So if it keeps going for a while, that's also something I like.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of like white noise and things like that. It's just consistent sound that it's rhythmic. It's a pattern. We are creatures of habit, and we like things to be in a certain order most times, a lot of us. And so it's nice when things fall into a pattern that you can rely on. And I think that rolls over into our auditory senses as well.
I would agree. And now I do have, I guess, my own homework, and I'll have to try to find the soap video for you, because it is very soothing to watch. Because I'll just describe it to you and then also to the listeners so they understand what's happening. And basically this bar of soap has already been carved into squares. And what the video shows is just someone taking a knife and just sliding down and cutting off all the little blocks slowly. And it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just magical. So I'm going to have to find it. I think it's actually an Instagram account, but either way, I'll look it up. We'll make that happen. So that is ASMR. I hope that kind of helps some people feel not so weird anymore, because that is a thing. And both Kortney and I have it. We have our special things that we like to listen to. What are yours, dear listener, dear Indubian? Please share what triggers you, what soothes you, and just tweet at me, let me know, and maybe we'll share it next time. And speaking of next time, I'll put it in here now. Our next episode, we're going to be doing live again.
What?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. It's going to be the 75th episode. I'm going to have some special guests, which will remain unnamed, so it'll be a surprise. But I think if you want a hint, nope, I'm not even going to give you a hint. Nope, I'm not going to do that. You're just going to have to wait, because
and show up.
Yeah. It will be on YouTube, but I will be sure to tweet the links. We're going to be doing another giveaway. I guess I'm going to have to let people on Facebook know, because I don't really do Facebook that often. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But, I'll do what I can. So, yeah. Indube Live will be back again. I don't know if I put a catchy title on episode 50, but I'll have to go back and check. But, yeah, it's going to be doing it live, and you'll be able to, we'll try to correspond with you in real time. So if you have questions for us, we'll answer it in real time, or at least as soon as possible. And what else? There's another thing that I wanted to do. Giveaway, guests, questions. Yeah, I think that's it for now. So do keep an eye out. That's going to be Wednesday, May 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, just keep an eye out for that. That should be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun last time. It was
we did.
Yeah, last year around this time. So yeah,
that's
what it was.
Yep.
Hopefully by episode 100 or sometime in the next year, I'll be able to do a live episode, like in front of an audience. That would be awesome. So
that would be awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yes, that is the next goal. So we'll see. But I think that actually kind of does it. I don't really have any Sheboygan news. I did try to look up some stuff. And the only interesting thing I found, but I couldn't get too much more information about it. I could have. I was being lazy. I admit it. But there is a Sheboyganite who is 62 years old, and I think she's like in the top 100 of CrossFit athletes in the world, I think. So, so good job, her. Just
nice,
killing it. But I think that's all.
Do it.
That's all I got for today. It's allergy season, so make sure you take care of yourself. And I want to say to stay indoors, but sometimes that pollen has a way of getting inside the house as well. So I don't know what to tell you. Take your Claritin. Yes, definitely. Take your Claritin, take your Zyrtec, take your Allegra. See your allergenist, like my sister does. Do what you have to do so you can survive, because we need you. Do you have any warnings or any shout outs or plugs, anything you want to give?
Yeah, you can catch me on the Twitter streets, not just the Twitters. Find me at IMK Hinton, where I will be tweeting up a storm about anything from, well, nothing these days. I haven't been on there lately. It's kind of weird, but yeah, but I miss it, and I'm normally there. So when I'm there, you can find me tweeting up a storm about anything from deep thoughts about the universe, to zombie apocalypses and how to survive them, to feminism and why we all need it in our lives. You can also find me, if you are an audacious creative entrepreneur or intention seeker, you can find me over at Verve HC, which is also on Twitter, or at www.vervehousecollective.com.
Is that 3
where
W's?
You'll find, that's 3 W's.
Okay,
yes, on the World Wide Web. Get it? It's the acronym for World Wide Web. And that's just a place. Verve House Collective is a place for all you folks who might identify as one of those 3: creatives, entrepreneurs, or intention seekers. It's the place to get resources to live your most abundant and awesome life. So check it out.
Awesome. Speaking of revelations, this just came to mind. Did you know about the rap group that's out these days, that's hot in the streets, Migos, where their name comes from?
I've heard of them. No.
It's short, or it could be short for amigos, as in friends.
Did they say that, or is this just speculation?
I feel like it's partly something that's becoming known, like it's like common knowledge. I'm not sure if they have actually concluded on that, but Roxane Gay had tweeted it recently. Like, her mind was blown, so other people's minds have been blown. Like, oh my God, I never really put that together. And I think some people didn't put it together until they saw Donald Glover's skit on SNL, where they were portraying amigos, but they called themselves friendos, I think. So things started to click. Migos also means something else in Spanish, which I think it means like a trap house. So since they make trap music, that's kind of also where
that they do.
Yeah. So it could be
interesting. Very interesting.
Both. Yeah. So that was something that kind of blew my mind today. I'm like, I did. Yeah. I was at a loss for words. So
You mean you're not into that type of trap music?
Not really, even though I think one of them started to get me because of these catchy Apple commercials where they use the emoji, Emoji, or what is it? The emojis with the face, and they're moving and dancing and stuff. And one of their commercials had their music. So I'm like, do I like this song? I think I might like this song. I think it was Stir Fry.
You found yourself bopping.
A little bit.
I love that song, and it's so terrible, but I love it so much. It's such a bop.
It is. It just kind of grows on you, and it's something when they put it in a commercial, it just makes it that much better, I think. I don't know. I wish they would do entire music videos that way because I like that one. I like Big Boy's All Night, I think it's called, but I already like his music. And then they also did one for Donald Glover or Childish Gambino, which we're supposed to talk about. We didn't talk about that yet. But we'll talk about that later. But his Redbone song, they did a commercial for that, and that was awesome too. I'm like, I want to see a whole video of this because it's weird and trippy.
Nice.
So, okay, I got off track there, but that reminded me because of the revelation. But that does it for another episode of the Indube podcast. Follow me on all things at Indube, and go to indube.com to find the Patreon to subscribe for more perks. Again, just $1. That's all I ask. And I mean, that's if you want, but if you want to get reviews and all that extra goodness, because sometimes we have extra extended episodes and we put stuff in there, or I just might feel like rambling about something. It's good stuff. I mean, trust me, it's good. And find my TeePublic store to get t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. Please rate, comment, and share the pod on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you so much for supporting, listening, stopping by, and pressing play. Tell someone you value that you value them, and live for the folks you love. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson, and remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
No. I wasn't expecting that.
Yes, I have to keep you on your toes.
You do, and that you did.
The Indube Podcast is recorded in a studio somewhere on planet Earth. The Indube Podcast is part of the Indube Network, and if you'd like to get in contact with the Indube Podcast, please email indubepod@gmail.com. That is indubepod@gmail.com. You can find the Indube Podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course Podbean, or wherever podcasts may be procured. If you'd like to find out more information, please visit indube.com, where you can find our store, the blog, and of course our Patreon if you'd like to support and donate and find more perks and fun things to listen to and watch. For Chief, DJ Joe Daddy, Bilford, this is T. Sterling Watson signing off. Thank you so much for listening. Use your words, Chief. Good boy. This has been another 3SFX production.